I once saw myself as a little girl with no father. But this point of view has changed over the years, even though there is still no one in my life to call a father. Perspective on ourselves and other people change all the time. This can either be a simple change or a tremendous one. It can be a bland change or an exquisite one. Perspective can also depend on if an event happened and if this event was very big or very important. It can be seen as the way a man sees his spouse after he finds out she was pregnant, or even just a friend of a pregnant woman. I have recently found this out through personal experience. I was not pregnant, and I was not in a relationship, but I had a friend tell me she was pregnant. All throughout the school day, whenever I saw this girl, I saw her differently than when I believed she was not with child. Not in a bad way, but rather just as if my perspective on her had a new lighting. I no longer saw her as a teen girl who only had the worry of friends and school, but rather as a young woman with a child, a life growing inside of her. Whenever I saw her, all I could think about was the fact that she had to decide whether or not to keep the baby. I saw her as a mom, and I saw her from an altogether new perspective. She was still the same person to me, but she seemed different. At the end of the day, I found out she was just messing with me. It was very hard for me to brush it off at first, but then I just laughed along with her. This event made me understand the power of perspective even better than I did before. But let's say you had a friend or family member who needed to talk to you about something, and they had a serious look on their face. Your perspective on them changes instantly. It isn't a big change and it isn't permanent, but it's still a change. You either see them as someone who needs help or as someone you should be very cautious with. Then curiosity spikes in your mind, and you want to know what is wrong, so the conversation with them then continues. Now imagine that this person showed you something very drastic. What if they showed you that they self-harmed in the past, or even currently? Whenever you see them, you would think of that fact a majority of the time. You would see them as the same person, but with a twist. You'd want to either avoid an awkward situation or address what they are going through. The fact that perspective changes so quickly is very important. It shows us how we view others and if we truly mean a lot to them, or vice versa. When we meet someone, we automatically make a judgment on them. We give them a label or make up our own story on them, not even wondering whether or not it is true. This can be seen as when you meet someone who wears dark clothes or looks angry when you first see them. You might automatically think something along the lines of they're probably emo or they probably have problems at home. People generally stay away from a person like that because they make up their own story in their head before they actually get to know them. We think about if they were like one way or if they acted another, but almost never go up to them to find out the truth. They might just end up being the nicest person you've ever met, or maybe they just like that kind of style. But this isn't the only way we assume things. You might meet a nice person and have an entire thought system planned out on them, which will later change when you find out a big secret of theirs. Even if it is just a rumor, how you see this person will change. You will always have that small voice of doubt in the back of your head saying, is it true? It is very easy to manipulate someone's perspective. The fact that this is true is sad. In everyday life, our point of view is manipulated and changed and can become an altogether new way of seeing something by the end of the day. The cause of this can be rumors, persuasive essays, movies, and even songs. These are all day-to-day things that we are in contact with 24/7. These daily things are how politicians can manage to bend and warp our point of view on each other. They are able to change the public's perspective very easily, all because the politicians have mastered the art of manipulating the public's point of view. They're using campaigns, commercials, and ads to get to the citizens, and once they have the public's attention, they use twisted facts, old news, and even rumors to change the public's point of view on other politicians. This can be seen with the upcoming election. The media is filled with people saying how dangerous our president is and how he should be taken out of office. They use videos of him saying the wrong thing at the wrong time and never bring up the good things he did. They focus all of their attention on the rumors and the bad things and never bring up the good things that Trump did. How we see people, our perspective on them, is all based on the events around us, what we hear, and how our mind works. Perspective changes all the time. How did this change your perspective today?